Great to see you this hour, Dianhua. Fill us in. What's the latest on the ground from Madrid?
Well, Zhu Yuan, second day of the talks. The delegations have been talking for about 3 hours' time so far. The Chinese delegation, led by Vice Premier He Lifeng, arrived first, followed by the American delegation, led by Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary of the United States. The Chinese delegation, as usual, didn't interact with us here, the media, but Scott Bessent and Jameson Greer, the U.S. trade representative, came to us and spoke to media for about 5 hours' time. They took 3 questions, including one from CGTN. So this is the gist of what they said to us this morning. Bessent said that the talks were generally fulsome. The talks lasted about 6 hours yesterday, and he said that they have already made good progress on some technical details of the agreement. He also said that the Chinese negotiators are rather aggressive, but the United States wouldn't be willing to sacrifice national security for a social media app, referring to TikTok. Zhu Yuan, TikTok is one of the sticking points to this round of trade talks, and they have been talking about that for quite a while. I asked him whether there will be another extension. You showed that in the clip already. So just a recap and some background information of the status of TikTok's operation in the United States so far. The Trump administration has been asking ByteDance, the parent company of the video sharing app TikTok, to divest its U.S. operation, giving the Americans full control of the company. The time is quite sensitive, and the deadline is the 17th of September, right after the trade talks here in Madrid end. Beijing has been rather consistent. Beijing has been saying that it would protect the interests of Chinese companies, and it would never, and it didn't and would never demand data in violation of local laws from the video sharing app. And Beijing also stressed that Washington should provide a fair and balanced business environment for Chinese companies, including TikTok. So this is where we are right now. Jameson Greer, the trade representative, also said that apart from TikTok, they also talked about some other general issues, especially trade. There was huge trade imbalance, according to him, between China and the United States, and they would like to address that. And they would also like to continue to focus on TikTok. So you see the importance of TikTok in this round of discussions. Now, Bessent also said it would like to maintain the relationship, good relationship between China and the United States. And he also said if there is no agreement, even if there is no agreement on TikTok, it would not affect the overall relationship between China and the United States. And also, the relations are rather good at the highest levels, according to him. So this continues the previous 3 rounds of trade talks. I've been covering this across Europe for a few months. The first one, just to recap, the first trade talks happened in Geneva in mid-May. It was a turning point because they had effectively reduced tariffs on each other from over 100% to 30% and 10% respectively, and they had a pause. And after that, it was in London in June. It was another turning point, I have to say, because they reached this framework to implement what was agreed in Geneva. And then Stockholm, they had another extension, and now they're here in Madrid to talk about some more general issues, especially TikTok this time. But both sides wouldn't want to show any sign of weakness, apparently. They have exchanged some really heated exchanges ahead of the trade talks. The United States added 23 Chinese companies to the entity list against the interests of Chinese companies, according to Beijing. And China also launched 2 investigations against the United States concerning semiconductor and certain types of analog IC chips. And also just now, China had just released that, according to the preliminary investigation, they have found out that NVIDIA has violated China's antitrust law. So there is a lot going on. Let's see how the talks will unfold today.
All right, appreciate the latest, Dianhua, as always. Thank you very much. My colleague Li Dianhua live from Madrid for us.